are some of the benefits of having a guy playing center? I won't call him a center, but a guy playing center, so to speak, who can really move the ball and play make for others. What does that do for your offense?
Who are you talking about?
Scotty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just in general. I mean, if he's playing center, when they have their center guarding him, right, which is majority of the time, but not all the time. Always got to figure that out. But again, he's an offense creator, and we need him to be that, right? That doesn't mean shooting. That just means creating shots for others and creating good movement for others. So he's certainly, kind of been in a little up and down rhythm with how he's trying to figure out how to play on each night, right? But when he's making quick decisions, I think is the biggest thing, whether he's bringing it up the floor and hitting the paint, or if he's in the half court and he's got it on a pick and roll and he makes the next good play, whether it's going to the basket or getting it out, or if it's on the perimeter, taking the shot or going to the next action on the perimeter. So just deciding to make quicker decisions, I think, has helped him in the last 4 or 5 games.
Just catching it on the roll or kind of a dribble action or something, does that kind of force him to make the decisions a little quicker versus squaring up against a set defense?
Well, probably. You're going downhill with some momentum and speed, and there's some traffic, and you're kind of at the point of decision time, right? A little bit more than, you could go either direction out top, or, you kind of got to take what seam is there and read what's there. So, yes.
His three-point attempts have been down recently. I know puts in work on those, and it's sort of been mixed results here and there throughout the year. But
what's he shooting percentage-wise?
A little bit over last year. I think just low 30s. Have you been happy with him sort of honing in on the things that he's already really good at, rather than kind of trying to sprinkle in some of the others?
Well, he's shooting almost 35% on catch and shoot threes, and that's good enough. And I'd like him to shoot those. Like, his off the dribble numbers are way down in the teens. Right, which is pretty common that guys shoot better off catch and shoots versus off the dribble, right? So I would probably go to the extreme of saying I'd like him to shoot catch and shoot rhythm ones and stay away from the off the bounce ones.
Makes sense.
Yep, and get some more. I think there's rhythm threes for him to take there that aren't out of line. I mean, again, it's like, what is a good one? Well, it's not any different than what is a good one for Chris or for Precious or maybe even Pascal. If we've hit the paint, if we've looked at some stuff and it's out and it's in rhythm and you're uncontested, it's a shot, right? If it's up the floor, no passes, nobody's hit the paint, off the dribble, it's probably not a shot, right? So there's some good rhythm ones, I think, for all those guys to take, and that's what we've been trying to discuss and hone in and work on here lately.
On that topic, not just with Scotty, but with catch and shoots versus pull-up threes, is a catch and shoot something that maybe can be developed among a wider range of players, maybe, where you don't need to come into the league with a natural shot to get up the catch and shoot ones?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all just kind of makes sense, right? I think that just if you just looked at raw data and numbers, I mean, they're just almost everybody shoots better off catch and shoot, right? So that would just tend to lend itself to that's your starting point. And we even try to get even more specific than that and just hone in on certain, when guys are coming to us out of college as non-3-point shooters, we hone in on specific spots to just work on one spot for a while, then move to it. It's kind of this, I don't know, I think we've got it up to 6-stage process that we try to get through with them. So, yeah.
You guys have had a lot of success developing shooting in the past. Over the past couple of years, maybe haven't seen the on-court progress that you maybe wanted to with some of the guys. What do you make of that? Do you think it's just something that kind of is coming, but we're not always going to see the results in the game, but you see it behind the scenes?
Well, I think that that's a tricky one, right? I think that on one level, you've got to be incredibly happy with guys coming into the NBA that weren't really shooters and that they're getting, some success done, right? And they are in the process of climbing up the ladder, right? And I don't know. I just think that, again, some of our biggest drop-offs this year have been with some of our established guys. But I would also say the year's not over, and there's a lot of room for those things to even themselves back out. I really believe that it isn't the case of they can't find the shots, and they're taking awfully difficult ones that they're never gonna, they're gonna shoot low 30s because the shots aren't good enough. I don't think that's the case. I think that this will probably even itself out, and those guys will probably go in a stretch where they shoot a lot better than they're currently shooting, and then that'll pull their seasonal numbers back to what they historically do.
I think Pascal had an end of quarter possession yesterday where he hit the pull-up three. I was looking back, and that's the fourth time this season where he's taken an end pull-up three at end of quarter and made it. What's that say about comfort with that shot to take it in those scenarios?
Well, I think that the read is that they're going way under. They're trying to figure out not let him drive past them, collapse on the paint because they figure he's putting his head down and going to the paint to create something, and they've just backed off him so much that he's stopped and shot it. I don't know if there's anything else to read into it other than he just reads the defense, right? And that's what's there, and he takes it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess like compared to last season,
Well,
it wasn't something that he would really consider.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just kind of happened, and it's not a whole lot to read into it. It is end of quarter, and he's got to shoot it. He's got to shoot it. The clock's running out. Like that usually gives guys a little more confidence, right? Somebody's got to. It's like at the end of the shot clock, guys make a lot of those shots because they aren't deciding if they should shoot or not because they know they have to. So, yeah.
You guys have run a little bit more pick and roll lately. How much of that is just 4 games against certain teams, and how much of that is something that you guys are actively trying to use more of?
Probably 50-50. I mean, it is something we're trying to do more, and it has come against teams that are playing a certain style of defense as well.
Can I ask why you guys have decided to go in that direction a bit more and trying to lean heavily into it more?
Well, I don't think that. I just think it's turned into a little bit more of what we probably normally do. Like if you want to talk about comparing things from the years gone by, I would say it's probably closer to those numbers, right? And it's more about you guys it's more about organization, right? And I know you guys don't care when we have half our team out or 7 guys out or 6 guys out at all, but that messes up our organization. It takes time to get some of that stuff reorganized, and now we've had some games and some practice time where these guys are here and they're just more organized.
You've been saying for you've been saying for a few years now that Pascal is a guy that could be, maybe should be getting the line more than he has in the past, whether it's the whistles going the way that they have or him being able to draw those fouls. His free throws are up considerably this year. He had 12 of them last night. Where have you seen kind of the biggest difference in that
Probably just initially, Josh, on the drive. I think he's getting a lot of them right further away from the basket when they try to get physical with him out on the perimeter more. He's using his he's not shying. I mean, he's going into them and trying to be physical and use that body, and that probably is what I've noticed. He's not, and that is on the perimeter whenever there's hand checking or whenever there's hard bumps on the initial move. That is called probably a lot more for whatever reason, but that's the way they call it and that's what I think I've noticed either right at the start or early in the drive. Seems to me when he's getting hit a lot more. And he's just trying to hold more of his direct line with more physicality, I think.
What does a 3-game winning streak do for you guys in terms of confidence and the feeling here?
Just it gives us some momentum, you know, winning some games against talented teams. Even regardless of record, they're a talented team. So just giving us momentum and just trying to carry it over and continue it.
Scotty was such a big part of what you guys were able to do as a team in the second half of last year. Not a coincidence. I'm sure that his best stretches came at the same time as the team's best stretches. If you guys are going to build on this last week, how important is Scotty going to be for that over these next 40-some-odd games?
He's very important. You know, he's a great player. He affects winning. And yeah, he's a great player, so he's going to continue to get better. And as he continues to get better, we're going to continue to win games.
What have you seen from him over the last week?
Oh, just doing what he does, you know, affecting the game in many ways. Being a great team player, being aggressive, rebounding, playing defense, just being the great all-around player that he is.
You played a little bit of center at times last year in the sports. What are some of the challenges of playing that position as a relatively undersized as a center?
Oh, just, you know, boxing out, all the bumps, all the hits. That's been the main thing. Going against bigger bodies, all the hits, you know, rebound, like having a sandwich, having to come in, having to do a lot of stuff. So.
And then offensively, like if you don't have like a clean roll to the basket, how difficult or easy is it to be a playmaker from the middle of the floor like that sometimes?
Just knowing when to go to the next action, when to look for your shot, when to roll, when to go to the next action, when to roll, it's just picking and choosing when to pop, when to do what. So.
Is it kind of foreign because it's not something
That I've done?
you've done it a little bit.
Or are you talking about me?
Now being asked to do it a lot. So is it kind of, how hard is it to pick that kind of stuff up?
I mean, I'm sure the more you do it, the better you get at it, as with everything. So he's been getting better and better at it. I mean, he's a great player, so I'm not surprised.
In terms of taking hits from those bigs, is there anything you specifically focus on in the offseason to prepare for that?
No. There's nothing you can, you know, it's different than a game. Yeah.
What does that feel like?
I mean, like, what do you mean?
In terms of taking those hits from those guys,
I mean,
what does it feel like after a game?
Yeah, after the game, you're sore. Yeah.
Ice tub.
Yeah, you always do that stuff. The recovery, body work, massages.
In terms of your individual shot spectrum, your three-point attempt rate is a bit down, but it's all been traded for like shots right around the basket. Was that like a focus for you? Has that had anything to do with injury at all?
Injury?
Like before, I think a finger thing for a bit.
I mean, I always try to be aggressive no matter what, and just take what the game gives me. I'm getting three-point shots, and I'll shoot them. If it's getting to the rim, shoot that. It's mid-range, I'll shoot that. Just reading what the game gives me.
How are you finding making those reads between, you know, when there's enough space for you to pull up for that mid-range or when to like actually just go all the way to the basket?
Oh, it like depends who's on the floor, depends on what the other team's guarding. So it just depends on that mainly.
Okay, you've had a pretty unprecedented shooting development since college. Do you think shooting is a skill that kind of is natural to some people, or do you think it's something that kind of anyone can get good enough at if they put the work in, essentially, with three-point shooting specifically?
I think it's a mix of both. I think most of it's natural. I think a lot of it's natural. And then everyone can always get better at stuff if they work on it. But just some things are natural.
Right. And then with that work, obviously the answer is always just put the reps in. But is there anything that you found specifically in terms of practicing three-point shooting that's really helped you?
Just what you said, putting in the work, in the reps.
Think so, Jake? What if the music is on?
Does the mood lighten after 3 wins, or does the pressure exist to keep going? What's it like?
Oh, it's different for sure. And anytime you win, you can't take wins for granted in this league. You know how hard it is to win consistently, but you know, obviously it's not nothing to get carried away with. We still got a lot of work to do, and we got a lot of catching up to do, you know, for where we want to be. But you definitely got to, you know, take it in stride and just keep things in perspective, but appreciate, you know, when you play well and you execute well and you know, deserve to win and you come out of there with a win, you got to take that good energy and just build on it.
The other night when we were talking about pressure, you said you'd see him, it's coming, but it's going to be slow because you missed a quarter of the year.
Yeah.
You come back from injury. How hard is it not to want to go a million miles an hour right off the bat?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, everybody's different. It's tough. So I think, however he approaches it, it's going to be on him. I think you see just some of the timing and just trying to insert his way back into the rotation, and we got to get used to playing with him because one thing you forget, aside from playing with him, he hasn't been able to practice much either. So, we haven't been able to play alongside him in, was it 8 weeks I think he was out. So he's getting his timing and his feel and his rhythm back, and it's going to take some time. But as long as he's playing the right way and playing hard, I think everything else will come.
He's vital to what you guys do too, right? It's a pretty big piece to what you guys do.
Yeah, I think so. I think yes. I think with his his athleticism and just being able to guard a lot of different positions, he played well towards the end of last year, and you would like to see be able to build on that. So. We like having him, and see how we can keep working him in. But he's looked good so far.
What have you been most impressed with in regards to how Scotty's played over the last week or so?
It just looks sharp, and focused and professional. I think anytime he's the low turnovers, his games are always good for him. Just valuing the possession and making the right plays and not getting too crazy. But he's been really sharp and really impressive. He's playing at a high level. He's adjusted, kind of accepted the little playing the screen and roll game a little bit as a screener. He's guarded well at the 5 spot, so he's playing well on both ends of the floor, and that's what we're looking forward to. We're going to need him to do that, for us this year.
Do you think that's one of the reasons that playmaking numbers have spiked the last 2 games anyways? Is just him getting that ball roll, not having a dribble into opportunities?
Yeah, don't hurt. So I think just making an emphasis on the team to just share a little bit more and get it moving a little bit more, let the ball work for you, trust the pass, and he's been a big part of that, being able to play him as a roller and a second side guy. So definitely got to give him a ton of credit for the way the offense has been rolling.
Are you finding that synergy with when he's looking on roll, when he's looking for those dribble handoffs?
I think just take what the defense gives you. I think it depends on the coverages, and me and him are obviously developing more in that. We got I think a ton of them last night, just as the road man. So it just depends on what the defense is going to do and how they're going to play it. But obviously, screen and roll is an easy part of basketball that can help your offense, and we've been able to get some of that over the last week or so.
What gives you confidence that you guys as a team are going to shoot the ball better in the second half of the season than you did in the first? And does any of it have to do with maybe getting different types of looks with kind of the new role Scotty is in, this new kind of way the offense is flowing?
Yeah, you answered your own question. So I think, just getting the ball moving, a little more rhythm and flow, and just executing at a higher level, and getting, it's a different energy and feel out there at times, and we got good shooters on this team. So as bad as we shot it before, it's got to go the other way, and we'll, level out somewhere in the middle. But I think, I like the way we've been playing lately. We got to keep it up.
Is the reality of the modern NBA just so that you kind of have to make a bunch of threes in every game if you're going to win a bunch?
You don't got to make a bunch, but you got to make some. You got to make more than 4 or 5 a game. It's going to be tough, and there was a lot of games where we lost close games that we only made 5, 6 threes, and sometimes that can be the difference. And you got to let some of your other strengths play out, especially the way this team is built on offensive rebound and create turnovers and all of that. But if another team can just throw 23s up, it kind of equalizes that. So just being able to just stay in the fight a little bit more, and you got to be able to make threes, obviously, to compete at a high level.
You've talked a lot about your role this season within the team in the offense. Last night you were playmaking more than normal, only 2 3-point attempts. How did that feel, and what prompted that?
Just taking what the defense gives, and just playing within the team and trying to get a win, whatever that means. So, whatever that means for our team, I'm going to do it. And we won 3 games in a row, so that's all that matters. I'm not really too concerned about my role. I know what I can do. I know who I am as a player, and I know what I can do in any given circumstance. So just, contributing to win and try to impact winning in other ways. We got guys that are scoring, and it hasn't, really called for that from me. So just, play the game the right way and try to help the team win as best I can.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, guys.